Joining me right now is Dr. Jaime Kulaga, a licensed mental health counselor. Doctor, good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so if we know that many of the people that are involved in mass shootings, almost all of them have this commonality.
Right.
They have mental health issues.
Yes.
And yet we're not funding the kind of prevention and those kind of things that need to be done to stop this. What's going on?
You're right. We do need to focus in on this issue, but the problem always boils down to funding. Where is this money going to come from, especially in the state of Florida? Florida has the recession in the housing market has really taken a toll on Florida.
Sure.
So the funds that we get, what are we going to do with them? Unfortunately, children often go to the back burner. We have other issues that states don't have to focus on, like we have a big elderly population, for example, we focus issues on. Now, when we do get the money for prevention, well, then we say, okay, we have this money for prevention, but right now we have all these children in a crisis situation. They are in inpatient, outpatient facilities. They take the money, they give it to them. Now we have no money for prevention.
And girls, you said that 75% of the girls that are in prison right now have mental health issues.
The 75% of girls in jail had an untreated mental health illness. And boys actually follow very closely. And another stat here for you is we spend $1 billion per year in teens that commit suicide or almost successfully commit the suicide.
And another statistic, you said 1 in 5 kids may have mental health issues?
1 in 5 have a severe mental health issue.
Okay, so when you say prevention, what is prevention? You bring them in, how do you identify them as having problems? They fill out a survey, a questionnaire. Do you do that in the schools? Do the parents do it? Complicated.
It is complicated, and I think you're right to a point, but in my eyes, prevention means even before early intervention. So there are 3 stages. You have age 0 to 5. 0 to 5 is your real prevention. That's prenatal care. That is parent-child bonding, teaching them how to interact. Between 0 and 5, a child learns its self-esteem and how to build a relationship. Those are foundational for later life decision-making and social skills. Then, after 5, you start introducing how to make better decisions, social skills, bullying, how to say no to drugs and still be cool in school. Yeah. And I think that those are important. Now, a study did just recently come out, actually it came out this month, from the healthcare department that said, focus on children are often suspended from school. Why don't we not suspend them? Why don't we leave them in school and work with them? Rather than just saying, you're suspended, go out. Now, what are they going to do at home?
Yeah.
Parents aren't home, they're at home. Focus on that. Focus on communication between a multitude of providers. Minnesota, for example, Minnesota Human Services just teamed up with Moffitt. And the mental health experts from the human services field are actually going to talk to the pediatricians at Moffitt and give them expert advice on how to handle children.
But where does this start? I mean, because you say prevention, identifying of this, where does the ball begin? And that's the part that I don't understand.
We have to get funding for it. We have to first get funding.
So it is a mental health professional that has to make this first assessment, or do we have to go into the schools and say, we've got to assess every single kid? Because you know the ramifications of that.
I think it is the medical board and the human services mental health board that will need to team up together. No longer are we seen as separate. We need to come together to really voice why we need this funding and how much we need and where it's going to be allocated to.